Even York fans were happy to help out. They, of course, suffered terribly last season and still face the prospect of eviction at the end of the current campaign. But this day was about Darlington.
We're really appealing to the people of Darlington, who are football supporters but have stayed away for quite a long time, to come through the turnstiles at the next game, which is against Macclesfield, because it's that money that is helping to pay the staff and the players' wages, because they're not getting paid at the moment.
Once the football got underway, the players' job was to prove to the fans that they are worth all the effort, and Darlington did exactly that. Ryan Valentine forcing Mark Ovendale to be alert early on. And it was merely a sign of things to come. Shortly afterwards, Darlington gave the fans the goal they craved. On another day, Barry Conlon may have been penalised for climbing on Darren Edmondson, but this was Darlington's day. And they were in the mood against a York side who are looking to make it 8 unbeaten in the league. Ashley Nichols not far away with that effort. And Valentine would go even closer as he continued to impress down the right. The 21-year-old seems to get better and better. York did have chances, but they were few and far between, and when John Shaw rose to head Dave Merris's cross goalwards, Michael Price was perfectly positioned to keep the lead intact. Former Yorkman Conlon was influential again when the Quakers doubled the lead. His ball put Neil Wainwright in space. There was still plenty to do, but he remained composed to skip around the keeper, and then the remaining defenders to score. And just look at the celebration. Darlington hadn't won for 13 games, and the last was a 3-0 win at home to Boston back in September in this stadium. So how fitting that Craig James rose to head home Valentine's cross and match that scoreline. Perhaps that was the perfect way to draw close to a horrible 2 months for this football club. They move out of the relegation zone, and even Matthew Coates' late shot didn't trouble them.
We said, listen, we could be sitting for a whole week looking at that table and we're not going to move anywhere, but the bottom line is we're 4 places high in what we were.
You can see that he's got them well organised and there's going to be fighting. I expect them to climb up the league.
It's great just to get a result in the bag. Takes a bit of pressure off, to be fair, and brings a bit of confidence into the camp as well.
A season's best crowd of over 8,000 at Brunton Park for the battle of the bottom two. And most of them on their feet inside 10 minutes when Andy Priest's perfect cross set up Brendan McGill's opener. But maybe winning 3 successive games was just too big an ask. Lee Matthews level just before the break, and in some style too. His first goal since the season's opening day, and his first for Darlow since joining on loan from Bristol City.
Hello again. Well, Mr. Beresford and I spent yesterday afternoon in the lap of luxury at the Reynolds Arena, splendidly entertained by the Quakers' long-serving sponsors, the Darlington Building Society. And when you go behind the scenes, John, you just cannot believe you're in a third division ground, can you?
Better than my house. It's unbelievable. It's shag carpets, the full lot. It's unbelievable. You can't believe where you are, and it's just a shame. As in, when the reality is, you look at the league table and you look at the football that's being played, and the supporters, they're just disillusioned.
Well, the crowd was nearly 7,000 with massive away support from Hull City. It was second bottom against second top, but to be fair, didn't look like it at first, did it?
No, you looked at the game, any neutral would have just said, hang on a bit, as a team playing in stripes, the team at the top pushing, motion. They came out, Wainwright was lively for all the game. The one thing you can't knock him for, the amount of effort he puts in and causes lots of problems. It's a shame that he had to come off that pitch a loser. They dominated really first half, but you just think to yourself, we looked at each other, Roger, and we looked at them and said they need to score because they've had chance after chance, and you just think they're going to get chances. The linesman helped them out here because I really believe that he was onside at that time, but you think to yourself, come on, you've rode your luck, make sure now that you don't throw it all away. And this is what kills managers. A set piece which is set up, I was speaking to Cooks about it before, that is used on Sunday League football pitches, and they fell for it. They fell for the sucker punch. And I was watching Odgie. He was on the bench throwing God knows what around because he could see it was going to happen. They got a couple of more chances, second half. They threw things forward. The one thing you can't knock Darlington for, they give it everything. The players, even the support, were praying that they would get a result. But Hull, because they were organised, they got the goal, they relaxed, and they threw a few chances early on in the second half, but they just made sure that they were going to be hard to break down. It was an open game. It was an entertaining game, really, for the situation that both teams were in. There were chances, from both teams, that was unlucky. I mean, that would have been a quality goal if it had gone in. But I just felt it was a shame for Darlington to come off that pitch thinking, you know, we've given it absolutely everything, and everything they tried, you just felt, even though you were watching it, that it weren't going to be their day. You didn't feel that they really got, it was going to be there to get a goal. I think even Conlon's reaction there knows he's offside, and you just think to yourself, everything that can go wrong, there seems to be a cloud hanging over the place. The supporters, I think, here we go again, and I just feel so sorry for everybody involved at Darlington Football Club, because it's in a mess. I tried asking so many questions to so many people, and nobody can give me an answer. They don't know who owns what, how much debt they're in, are the players going to get paid. And I said at the beginning of the season, I've said it to George Reynolds years ago when he was going to build this massive stadium, get it right on the pitch, get the crowd coming in, then start. I just find it bewildering, and it's just a shame for the club.
Well, the bloke who's got the tough job, of course, is manager David Hodgson. He's got a difficult few months ahead of him. Let's get his reaction to that performance.
I don't know the answer, okay? Well, I do know the answer. The answer is to score a goal. Where that comes from, I don't know. It's kind of be from crosses, because we're doing that week in, week out. Chance after chance. It can't be from shots, we're getting shots off. So where does it come from? Somebody quickly invents something that gets you a goal without having to deliver balls in and get shots on target. But if they're top of the league, which they are, I can see reasons why they do well, but I can also see reasons why we shouldn't be up thereabouts, because of the way that we go about our job and the way that we play.
What is the financial situation now? Are things looking more positive?
I can only tell you that the administrators have been first class as far as I'm concerned. They're just trying to keep the club going on the momentum that it's trying to take going forward. They're not putting any restrictions on. I'm sure they're cutting costs somewhere along the line. I'm sure they're putting the finances into line, because that's what they're here for. But apart from that, they've been excellent for us.
And to be fair to David Hodgson, he has made a difference, hasn't he?
Definitely. You know, he's got the players organised, they're giving it everything. But because, as I said, he can't understand it. His team's played out of the skin. They were, in a sense, they should have beat the better team in the league. And I bet he's just sat there. He'd be like that all night last night. He'd have been going through his head, what am I doing wrong? Why can't we get a break? And it just, when you're down there, you know, I've been at clubs when everything's going wrong. You know, you just think you can't. All they need is a little bit of luck. And I think if they get a win at the right time, it could sort of like give them something to, you know, to go for towards the end of the season. But they're a million miles away. There's a lot of teams down there who've got games in hand as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they need that win. They need it quickly more than anything else. I mean, they're 4 points behind Southend, but Cheltenham have played 3 more and Southend have played 2 more. They've got to do something now, not April.
And that's it. But I'm sure that Hodges' hands are tied. You know, the administrators are going to try, as he said, they're trying their best. But he ain't going to be able to bring people in. And not only that, the top quality players that want to come in ain't want to come to down at the bottom of the league.
Bit of luck wouldn't go amiss, would it?
Not at all.
George Reynolds has resigned as chairman and director of Darlington, severing all ties with the club, but has issued a challenge to his potential successors by claiming he's the only one who can save them. The administrators are expected to release a statement later this week, revealing the scale of the club's debts.
Back in training this morning, Darlington's manager left with plenty to shoulder after the sudden departure of his flamboyant chairman. The players are concentrating on league survival as Reynolds challenges any successor to do a better job.
All you people who's had plenty to say in the past, you had a buyer and a mystery buyer and all the rest of it, is either put your money where your mouth is, or either put up or shut up. The only person who can put that club right, whether you believe this or not, and it's a big statement to make, is me. Because realistically, I know every nut and bolt in there. I've built it, I've bed it, I've slept it, I've done everything, you know. And I've said it, I've made it quite plain. You know, I'm the only one who can put that club right. But if anybody else thinks it and do a better job, you know what I mean, I'm quite prepared to sit back and watch them.
The hardest thing about George Reynolds and the people who work closely with him is none of them have ever had any football grounding. And when we did make a point very early that football is a unique business. And eventually the public will turn if things aren't going well on the football field, and that's basically what happened. But what he gave for me at my time the first year was the best year I had in football.
Reynolds built a £25 million stadium just outside Darlington that can hold up to 25,000 fans. But results on the pitch have left the club second bottom of Division 3 and fighting for their lives after being taken into administration.
The biggest creditor there is me, £15 million. And now my cousin Richie, £1.5 million. We're the biggest creditors, and then Sterling came in. And I'm not going to criticise them, but although they charged high interest rate, they were very, very good to me at the time. They did give us help. And so they've got a charge of about £4 million. So realistically, there's about £4 to £5 million, and that's it. But it's not bad when you look at the stadium worth 44 million.
I walked in this morning, and funny as it seems, it was like a ship without a sail. Well, hold on here. Who's running this all of a sudden? But now the administration team are in. It's in their hands, and I hope they do a good job of it.
For now, the Darlington squad are focusing on life on the pitch. Off it, administrators are expected to confirm the extent of the club's debts later this week. Brian Swanson, Sky Sports.
The chairman of troubled Darlington Football Club, George Reynolds, has walked out of the job. The news that his 4-year reign at the Quakers has come to an end has shocked many at the club. The flamboyant businessman today said he's put everything he had into Darlington FC and is happy to step aside. As Julie Harrison reports, his decision has been welcomed by those trying to rescue the club.
The Reynolds Arena all but deserted today. After mounting pressure, owner George Reynolds has resigned as chairman and director of the club.
I decided I've stepped down as chairman. There's the chair. And let's have all these geniuses out now, and these, as I say, weekend period with 30 million, let's have them out and let them go in the chair and let them see what it's all about.